Alrighty, so before we get started, I'm just going to intro your Shippo team for today. I'm Joanne. I am on the customer success side of things, and I have Mike and Malcolm with me today that will answer all of your questions around getting started. And I'm really excited because they have a lot of expertise in this space. So, Mike, why don't you give us a quick intro?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. I almost can't recognize that myself in that picture anymore. Gosh, it feels like a different person. That picture was only taken like 4 months ago. My name is Mike Hathaway. I am on our sales team here at Shippo, as Joe had mentioned. I've been helping e-commerce businesses scale and handle their logistics and shipping for a few years now. And so certainly whether you're just looking to improve your current process, explore new shipping options, or get started with a business that involves shipping, absolutely always happy to help with those conversations and really enjoy helping businesses get to the point where their logistics are kind of the last thing they have to worry about on a daily basis.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. And Malcolm, take it away.
Hey, my name is Malcolm. On sales with Mike. Have a few years in experience at Shippo, and then before that have been in the e-commerce space as well, including some time at Walmart e-commerce. In my free time too, I also use Shippo's product. I have my own Shopify store as well as an eBay business too. So I see it from both sides. I've seen it from obviously the Shippo side and right where you guys are now. I was there as well, starting my own business and using Shippo. So happy to help.
Love it. I love the side hustle. I think there's a lot going on with that right now too. So that's super exciting. And I'm really excited to have you guys both on board to walk us through how to get started, especially with today's circumstances. And honestly, that's why we're doing these webinars. We're seeing a ton of new customers that have never done this before. And so we just want to take it back a few steps to help you understand how to set up and what things you guys need to think about in order to really move forward in shipping. So with that, we'll do a quick kind of overview on what Shippo is and how it helps you with all of the new logistics that you have to think about as you do come online. And Malcolm, I'm going to come to you with a quick intro.
Yeah, absolutely. High level, Shippo is a multi-carrier order management platform that gives you access to discounted rates and also allows you to track packages and automate things like returns. Basically, in a nutshell, Shippo is the easiest, cheapest, and simplest way to get packages to your customers and provide the best possible experience in that process.
Cool. Thanks for that. So that's a little bit of the foundation of, all of the next couple of slides that we'll walk through and how Shippo can help you manage through each of those steps. We'll do it at a more general sense, but also relating it back to how we do it in Shippo. So we know you have a ton of questions on how to get started. So let's get started. And for this, I'm going to go to Mike. One of the first things you think about as you're coming online and having the need to send product to customers is your packaging. Like, how do you actually get your product to them and what package is the best for your specific product. So Mike, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. We got some great questions this week. And I think the how to choose my packaging question is always one that is a little bit different for every single customer I chat with. So just in general, most important thing to keep in mind when you're shipping your item is making sure that that item gets there safely. So especially if you're shipping something fragile, you want to make sure that you're using either a bubble mailer or packaging materials that do ensure the safety of your item in transit. So before diving into specific boxes and poly mailers that you may consider, please make sure that you do factor in the safety of your package in transit as you are packing and choosing your specific packaging to use. When it comes to overall packaging selection, there are a few things to keep in mind as you're making that decision. First is the weight your packaging is adding to the actual package that will be shipped. Packaging and postage in general is all based on the actual weight and size of the package you're sending out. So minimizing that as much as possible will allow you to control your shipping costs even better than you would should you choose a larger package. Additionally is the cost of the package that you're actually purchasing. So first and foremost, USPS is a fantastic option for packaging. They provide you packaging services for free, actually. So they'll send you boxes, they'll send you poly mailers, flat rate envelopes. You can go to your local post office and pick these items up for free. So if you're just getting started and don't quite want to invest in your own packaging quite yet, USPS is a fantastic partner to be able to go to USPS, pick up those packaging materials for free and ship out your packages. There are some limitations around those services. Obviously, if you're using USPS packaging, you have to ship through USPS. So if you're shipping something heavier or something that needs to get there faster or something that in general might be cheaper with another carrier, and we can get into how to determine that a little bit later in our conversation this morning. But that's an area where you wouldn't want to necessarily leverage the free packaging provided by USPS. Some sources that are used by our customers to order packaging in bulk are sites like Uline or the Boxery are some very popular options that we see our customers choosing right now. Additionally, packaging materials can, I'm sure, be found at, or maybe it's not quite as accessible now, but generally you can find them at your local Staples or Office Depot. And so just getting a basic box is the most important thing to get started for a pricing model, because then you can get a good understanding of exactly how much each of your items are going to cost to get to your end buyer, and really build your overall pricing model around reducing that end shipping cost to the customer. And we will also cover why that's so important later in our conversation. So first and foremost, when considering packaging, get it there safely. Second, limit the weight overall so that your postage rate is as low as possible. And third, take advantage of free or discounted packaging materials that are available through carriers like USPS or buying in bulk through a supplier like Uline, the Boxery, or at your local office supply store are a great way to get started with packaging.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. And then you touched on it a little bit. Obviously, the next most logical question is, how do I price this, right? Like, how do I think about costs and how do I minimize that cost?
Yeah. So, and this is the natural transition of your conversation, right? Once we have our packaging, we can then start to minimize costs. And there are two different conversations happening here. There's the end cost that you will pay as the vendor, as the shipper for the packages going out to the buyer. And then there's the cost that we reflect to the buyer in your e-commerce or in your store's shopping cart. That second piece is something I want to cover first, because increased or high shipping rates quoted in a shopping cart or as part of the buying process in the e-commerce space is the number one factor associated with cart abandonment rate. So the most successful e-commerce businesses typically have a very low flat rate option that they'll charge all of their customers, or they'll present free shipping options. These two options for the market or for the actual vendor themselves are able to be presented effectively once you have a very good understanding of exactly how much each and every shipment you're going to be sending out is, and how you can average those costs, and either increase the cost of your items to incorporate shipping costs, or charge a flat rate that's appropriate and will cover your shipping costs altogether. So that begs the question, how do we figure out what our average shipment will cost? And as Joa has on the screen here, there are a bunch of different ways you can do this, but the first and easiest way is looking at a rate card for a carrier. So this is USPS's rate card. And so by knowing the weight of your package and generally how far you're shipping your package, you'll be able to get an exact cost for each and every shipment that you're sending out with one of these rate cards. So for instance, if you're shipping a 3-ounce package and it's going to be 400 miles away from you, that you look in the 3-ounce band right there and then check zone 4. Because zone 4 is covering areas that are 300 and 600 miles away from me. And that rate would then be $278. And so if I'm always shipping a 3-ounce package, then I know to use either the zone 5 cost for an average cost, or you can use the zone 7 and 8 costs to make sure that you're always covering your shipping costs for your customers, and either increase your item cost by that amount or have a flat rate of that amount in your shopping cart so that each customer isn't seeing a variable rate and you're getting higher drop-offs with people or in certain parts of the country or even all over the world. Another useful tool to help determine shipping costs is Shippo's platform in general. So our platform, when you log in and create an order, will show you all of the available rates we have for that shipment, whether it's with USPS, UPS, if you have your own FedEx account or other carriers, you can certainly add those to Shippo so that you can know the lowest shipping cost available for each and every shipment going out. So what a lot of our customers will do is sign up for Shippo and plug in a few sample orders. We're on the West Coast out here, so maybe I place an order on the West Coast, one in halfway across the country, one across the country, and get a good idea of how much it's going to cost me to ship to each individual place for each of my most popular packages going out. And then I can take a look at my pricing model, know exactly how much I should either be charging on a flat rate or how much I should be increasing my overall item cost by, so that when the buyer gets to that shopping cart page, they don't see an astronomical shipping cost associated with the price they clicked on for the actual item. So how do I minimize costs? Minimize size and weight of the package. Understand truly exactly what your average shipping cost will be. Present the buyer with a lower shipping cost than probably what you'll end up paying, and increase your item's price by that average amount to make sure that your customers are satisfied with the cost that they're seeing within your shopping cart.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. That was super helpful. And now that I have the package, I know what it's going to cost to get my package out there. How do I get it out there now that I'm stuck inside? And how do I take advantage of carrier pickups? And for that, I'm going to go to Malcolm.
Yeah, thanks. So of course, we're kind of going along here on this timeline. So you've already found the perfect packaging. You've got a better comprehension of the rates and how you're displaying them perhaps at checkout. Now the customer has purchased the item, you box it up, print your label, now what? So we're in different times. So, just running down to the post office might not be the best option for you right now. So what a really good option is to utilize carrier pickups, which can be conveniently scheduled right within the Shippo app in your shipments tab. So as you can see on the slide there, click the schedule pickup button and you have the option of scheduling a pickup for USPS or DHL Express. If you need to schedule a pickup with UPS or FedEx or some other carrier, that would be done directly with them. Generally, a good rule of thumb with pickups is to allow 24 hours of time. So if you have something that needs to go out urgently, scheduling a carrier pickup may not be the best option, but if you have 24 hours to spare, that's a good rule of thumb there. Going hand in hand with that carrier pickup is something called a scan form or manifest. And so what that is if you have a large volume of shipments or a large volume of parcels that you need to be picked up from the carrier, they may require something called a scan form or manifest. And that's simply one sheet that's a log of all of the parcels that you are having them pick up. And the reason they might require this is because, as you can imagine, say you had 50 parcels and that carrier had to scan each individual parcel to accept it and initiate the tracking process. If that were to be the case, it would be super time consuming and there's a lot of room for error. So what you do is you print this out, which is available right in your shipments tab, which is a log of all of the activity. And there's one barcode that's associated with all of those parcels. The carrier scans that barcode and it immediately accepts all of those packages at once. So this is something that is a nice to have and definitely a really great courtesy for the carrier. They may require it. Obviously, that's subject to your local carrier and your local post office, but it's simple, easy to print out, and a really good rule of thumb if you're doing more than probably a handful of packages at once for a carrier pickup. as well as it's a nice thing to have if you're even dropping them off at a post office as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Malcolm. And then with that, now that my packages are ready to be picked up and ready to go out to my customers, I want to make sure that they're insured and that if anything bad happens to them, hopefully not, I know how to take care of that. And for that, Malcolm, I'm going to go back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is also another important aspect, is making sure that, of course, most of the time, package obviously arrives there safe and sound, no problem. But of course, for higher value items or particular fragile items, et cetera, insurance might be a great option, or it might be essential for your particular business model. So before you get started with insurance, it's important to know that most carrier service levels do include some level of included insurance. And obviously that varies based on carrier and service level. So say, for instance, you're shipping something with priority mail and there's $50 of included insurance, okay? Outside of that, if you need to add anything beyond $50, we offer a simple 1.25% or 1%, depending upon if you're on PayGo or the Premier plan or Pro plan within Shippo. So say you're insuring something for $1,000, it would be simply $10 to insure that package. And what's great is we offer that through a third party that we've vetted and picked out, obviously, for customer convenience. And so with that, if you have any type of claims process or anything you initiate, you go directly to an agent that is there to help you with the claims process. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy, and you can simply add this right at label checkout.
Awesome. That's super helpful. And obviously with a lot of these, our support team is here to help with any questions around insurance or package tracking and whatnot as well. So we kind of work with our partners at Shipsurance in order to get to your answers if you have any, questions if you have any.
One more thing there too, and I forgot to include it, is that this process is the exact same no matter what carrier you're utilizing. That's the great thing about with Shippo, is if you're shopping rates and, for a certain type of shipment, say you have 10 shipments going out that day, 3 of them are going UPS and 7 of them are going USPS. If you're adding insurance for those, the process is exactly the same irrespective of carrier. So really consistent. You're not chasing down a bunch of different carrier contacts or different phone numbers. It's all handled right through Shipsurance.
That's a great point. And thanks for adding that, Malcolm. And kind of a perfect segue, we were talking about different carriers. We mentioned USPS, and he just mentioned, being able to add Shipsurance to all of the carriers that we've got. I'm going to go to Mike to talk us through taking advantage of all of these multiple carriers that you will be able to see in Shippo.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And I wanted to answer this question that we got in the Q&A, as a difference between us and stamps.com for different integration options for fulfillment purposes. One, our platform is a multi-carrier platform where we're not just providing discounts specifically through USPS. While we do have discounts with USPS that are the same or better than stamps.com in every single situation, we still offer discounts with other carriers as well. So through our platform, you can access discounts with UPS, USPS, DHL, and then we do have direct relationships with a variety of other carriers that can provide discounts as well through a custom contract situation depending on your overall volume of shipments. Additionally, if you have your own carrier accounts already set up, like say you have your own FedEx account or have your own UPS account that you've used in the past, or maybe have negotiated rates through, you can always add those to Shippo, pull your rates directly into our platform, and compare our discounts against what you already have available. Our tool is really here to provide transparency in the rate shopping process so that for each and every shipment that you send out, you're paying the lowest amount you possibly can, whether it's through one of your shipments accounts or through our discounted services. So to add these accounts in Shippo, very easy process. You're seeing it in the space of I think it's like a 6-second GIF here in the bottom right-hand corner. All you have to do is go into the settings tab, and then there's a carriers section. And in that section, you can just add your carrier account with the big add carrier account button, or activate our discounts. You're seeing the bar right there at the top of the screen. Right now, it says Shippo offers UPS discounts. Just click the button to activate now, and you'll set up a Shippo specific UPS account that has fantastic discounts on ground, up to 60% off, and then 2 and 3 day air services are up to 45% off as well. So really big discounts there. And most importantly for customers who are just getting into the e-commerce space, or maybe have been here for a while but are transitioning to more residential deliveries, that UPS discount does waive residential and some additional fuel surcharges as well. So especially if you're sending directly to somebody's home, as many of our customers are right now, that one feature alone and that lack of one surcharge has saved our larger shippers thousands of dollars who are using that already. So always make sure to factor in additional surcharges into your own carrier accounts. And review your bills so you understand exactly what's being applied there. But know that our discounts are through a variety of different carriers. And then additionally, you can compare all of those carriers for each and every shipment you send out.
Great. And then one of my favorite things when I order something online is to immediately check when my package is coming and start tracking it. And I love getting an email that says it's on its way or that it's out for delivery. And, we can do that in Shippo as well. And Malcolm will walk us through that.
Yeah, Joe, thanks for that. I feel like I'm the exact same, probably even a little bit worse. As soon as I purchase something, I'm immediately checking the tracking, hoping that it's magically out for delivery somehow. But that is something that I think we all find ourselves doing in some form or another. And that is really the expectation that most likely your customers have, is that they immediately have access to quick, accurate, and reliable tracking information, that they don't have to browse around or search or click through a bunch of links to get important information about when their package is going to arrive, or if their package has already arrived. The great news is with Shippo, that process is super simple, it's seamless, and it's sure to delight your customers. So with that, we have the option of sending automated tracking notification emails. So the email that is associated with your customer's order will receive a notification alerting them that they have a package that is coming, and they can visit that link in the email, or that's displayed in the email, to see the most recent update or status of that package. Additionally, too, we automatically can send out a package delivery notification. So as soon as the item has arrived at your customer's doorstep, an automated email will send out to them, notifying them of that. Additionally, too, you have the option of utilizing this feature if you want to or not. For instance, there is a similar type of functionality that is offered in some platforms like Shopify, your e-commerce platform, if that's what you're using, or some other type of platform. So if you are already utilizing that, you have the ability to turn that off within Shippo and still utilize that functionality within Shopify. As Shippo communicates bi-directionally, so any activity that you're doing in Shippo is getting communicated back to Shopify. You can still utilize that functionality in that platform.
Awesome. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I thought I was a little obsessed with doing that, but I think it's just the culture that we have now. And then I do this all the time. I overorder because, well, I don't have anything else to do besides shop online right now. And then I end up with a couple of things that I'm like, why did I order that? And immediately have to return things. And that's something that we can handle as well, because it just happens. And sometimes things don't work out. And Malcolm, I'm going to go back to you on walking us through returns.
Yeah, absolutely. As Mike had said before, there are a few things that can really turn off a customer or drive them away from actually completing a purchase. And one of those things would be not even offering returns. So, a lot of times customers or people that are using or new to e-commerce are a little bit scared of offering returns because it's a complicated process. It seems like it might be expensive or confusing. And so they do away with it altogether. The good news is that if it is something that suits your business model or something that you do want to try to offer to give a better experience for your customers, Shippo can help you along the way. So we have a couple of different ways of automating the return process. And one of them is to include a scan-based return label with all of your shipments. You have the option within the Shippo platform to generate a scan-based return label to include in every shipment that you send out. So what does it mean when it's scan-based? That means that you will not be charged for that label unless your customer actually utilizes it to send back a return. So it's of no cost to you to provide that convenient service with that label automatically ready to go within the package to your customers. And so Shippo will automatically reverse the to and from address. So that way your recipient now becomes the sender and you, the sender, now becomes the recipient for the return. If you do not want to offer scan-based return labels with every single shipment, you have the option of simply clicking one button within your Shippo dashboard. If a customer has communicated to you that they need a return, and you can generate a PDF and send them that email with the return label. So the choice is truly yours. If you want to include a shipment or return label with every single shipment, simple and easy to do within Shippo, and you won't be charged unless they utilize it. Or if you want to do it on a one-off basis, also a very simple process there too.
Awesome. Thanks, Malcolm. And now that we've got kind of the entire process for you laid out, there are a couple of setup steps that we skipped at the very beginning, and that's, managing your orders so that you can start shipping. And for that, I'm going to go back to Mike, who will walk us through getting your orders in Shippo or online.
Yeah, so Shippo's order management platform is a fantastic resource, not only for accessing discounted shipping rates, but also for managing the full fulfillment process. And so, Joe, can you skip to the next slide there? Great. So Shippo, Shippo has direct integrations with about 20 different e-commerce platforms, so that you don't have to ever type in an address or copy and paste files or upload CSV files if you're on one of these platforms. As Malcolm mentioned in a previous explanation, we have what's called a bi-directional sync with these stores. So as soon as you set up the connection, we're not only taking information into Shippo for each and every order that includes the customer's address, the items included, shipping selected at checkout, but we're also syncing information back to that platform about the fulfillment status, so changing it from pending to fulfilled, and then the tracking number that's created in Shippo for that specific order. So the connection process for these stores is incredibly simple. All you have to do is go to the settings and e-commerce channels section, click the connect button next to the e-commerce platform that you use for your business. And generally you just have to log in to that store through our connection, and we'll automatically sync those orders. Very fast, very simple. And then we continue to sync orders as they come in from your customer. So as you see orders placed in your store, you can log into Shippo for fulfillment directly there. Additionally, you don't have to have an e-commerce store to use our platform. You can either create orders automatic or on a one-off basis. In the top right-hand corner of the GIF at the top left-hand side of the screen is the create label button. Joe, you want to hover over that real quick for me? And you'll be able to just type in an address like you would on Click and Ship or some of the other carrier services websites, confirm the package info, and create that order automatically. This is a great option for a lot of people who have shipments come in that are outside of Shopify or outside of WooCommerce, and they just need to ship them out, especially for customers who may be taking orders over social media or getting payments through Venmo. This is an excellent way to just get those orders out on a one-off basis. Additionally, if you keep a database of your orders in a separate location, you can always upload a CSV file or an Excel file into Shippo with all of that information included. Simple process, just match over the fields and upload all the order information at once. And then you can access old orders to resend packages to the same location again and again. So our platform has a ton of different ways to help you manage that fulfillment process, whether it's connecting through an e-commerce store, creating one-off labels, or uploading troves of orders from an Excel file.
Awesome. Thank you both for walking us through all of that. I know there was a lot, and you guys answered a couple of questions in the Q&A box as well. So thank you for doing that. Is there any other tips or tricks that we didn't cover maybe, or that you want to leave everybody with?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in here, and not so much a tip or a trick. I think we've covered some really really helpful steps, and as you can imagine, there's so much more in terms of functionality and really cool features that you can use to make your life a little bit easier and hopefully provide an even better experience for your customers. But the great news is that we have really really good support and staff available to help you with any questions that you may have, whether that's getting advice on how to set up your e-commerce operation in terms of packaging recommendations, how to navigate rates, things of that nature. Or if it's simple questions about where do I find this within Shippo, we're always happy to help. And coming from my own personal experience, I walked into using Shippo knowing not very much about.
Oh, we might have lost Malcolm.
Right?
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, hopefully I didn't get cut off too much with the bad connection. But long story short, coming from my personal experience using Shippo as a customer, I walked in knowing very little about shipping out my own items, and I walked away that same day feeling a little bit more confident. And within a few days, I feel like I was a shipping pro. And I think most of you will feel the exact same way.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Malcolm. And yes, we are online. Mike's sales team is online. The support team is online. We do have a ton of customers reaching out to us right now. We're slightly behind, but we're there, and we will get to your question. We do have Drift on and live chat on for our customers if they want to chat in there. If you have any questions, Mike, I think you unmuted yourself. Any more thoughts?
Yeah, I sure did. Yep. So take advantage of the resources available, like Joe mentioned, live chat, submitting questions, getting in touch with our onboarding specialists are always a great way to familiarize yourself a little bit more with the fulfillment process. Familiarize yourself with the fulfillment. Excuse me, with the fulfillment process. But one other thing I'll just mention is that it's always to your advantage to add carriers to your Shippo account. So when you do sign up, activate that discount with UPS. Take advantage of signing up for our discounted FedEx services and some of the other carriers we offer in that settings and carriers tab. Having more options is always going to make your business more effective in the long run. And once again, ensure that you're paying the lowest amount for each shipment. So take advantage of some of those offerings. I know not all of our customers always make that a priority, and certainly that can help you cut costs immediately and limit overall spend on shipping services throughout the life.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Being able to just compare all of the carriers that we've got in Shippo, and it doesn't take too much to sign in and connect those carriers. So thank you both for your thoughts and walking us through everything needed to sign up and set up and what you need to think through in order to really start on Shippo or just in shipping in general. One thing I do want to mention is that we are waiving our platform fees, meaning our label fees and our subscription fees for all of our small businesses. You're going to basically use Shippo for free for the next couple of months. This is our way of giving back to all of the small businesses that are having to come online because of the current circumstances. We know that it's been tough, and this is our way of kind of helping our customers and helping everyone get on their feet to be able to continue running their business. And again, we will send out a recording of this to everyone, and I know there's still maybe a couple of questions that we didn't get to, but we will answer them one off in the email that we send out as well. And yeah, thanks for spending your Friday with us. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and we will talk to you guys online.